today's video, I'd like to talk about one of Australia's most loved singers and performers, Guy Sebastian. G'day, my name is Charles and I'm from Infected Blood Australia, and you might be rather shocked to see me, of all people, talking about Guy Sebastian. Well, I'm actually going to talk about Guy Sebastian because Guy Sebastian is talking about health and talking about viruses, and we talk about viruses here at Infected Blood Australia. And once again, for international viewers and those that have never ever heard of this man, because he's only allowed to perform here in Australia. I think there's some sort of law, it's some sort of treaty that forbids his music from going overseas. Look, in all fairness, I actually don't know much about music. I think anyone knows me knows that. So I can't knock him too much. He does know about music. He sings, I remember he won this show. We've got again, for people overseas that don't know about Australian entertainment, we're a little bit more than Paul Hogan down here. We've got, these amazing singers, Australian singers, and he's one of them. And how Australia came to find this talent was actually on a talent show. And as I say, I don't know much about music. I've actually been very busy and preoccupied for decades. I feel like I'm perpetually trapped in the 1980s, even though I'm just, I'm 49. But I actually do, because I don't know why, but that's how I am. So I can tell you about music from then, but I can't really tell you. I mean, I know about Stevie Wonder, for example. I love Stevie Wonder. So when I first heard him, I thought, oh, it's a tribute. It's a sort of Stevie, a Stevie Wonder tribute band. I just go. This is like Guy Sebastian doing Stevie Wonder. Okay, let's try it. I don't do an impersonation of both. Okay, but just to show you that this is done live without edits. Here we go. Well, it's not a broadcast live, you understand that, but I'm recording it live, I don't edit. Here we go. Okay, for Australian Idol, here we go. I just go to say hello, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Well, he murdered that. Bloody hell. Stevie Wonder, I like him. Now look, I did see that this man Guy Sebastian won this talent show, Australian Idol. And he won it in, when was it? 2003. And I remember I was living in Coogee at the time. G'day to everyone in Coogee. Hello, haven't seen you for a while. Beautiful place. You won't be enjoying it too much now that you have to walk around with these things on the beach and not be out the beach in Coogee, out in Australian sunshine. You're walking around like this. And anyway, back then when I lived there, one night it was a free evening and it had the final of this Australian Idol. And here it is. And I actually listened to it and I've got a confession to make. A little tear came out of my eye that night, as did millions of Australians, okay? But I'm going to explain my tear in a moment, but let's have a look. And then I'm going to explain why I'm actually even talking about this guy and what it's got to do with a virus or viruses. Here is he on his winning performance. This is Guy Sebastian. What a hairdo, by the way. He's got the same hair as me. If you leave mine unchecked, it goes just like his. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Yeah. Walking back into the woo! That's it. Oh, there was no. Yeah. Woo! Anyway, it was a tear that night coming from my eye. But I'll tell you what the tear was for, because I realised finally I would be allowed to grow my hair and that I'd actually be able to win something. And Guy Sebastian, even with a haircut like that, which is my hair if it's allowed to grow unruly, even with that hair, he won something and he won big. And I had that little tear. But then what happened was he suddenly got in the industry and then suddenly things started to change. He looked different. I mean, he went and got a bloody haircut for a start, right? I mean, what are you doing, Guy? I loved the hairdo. I like my hair. Okay, I'm going to grow mine one day, like yours when I'm a pop star. Okay, it might be a bit late for that now, but you know what I mean. When I win a talent show, I don't know, if they got a talent show for disabled singers, there you go. So he cuts his hair off, right? He cuts all his hair off, gets a baseball cap, and starts looking all American, you know? Well, I suppose he does sing Stevie Wonder type songs. Then he starts taking his bloody clothes off. Okay, Guy, what are you doing? For goodness sake. Come on, when did Stevie Wonder take his shirt off? All right, so anyway, so recently what's happened is back to health and back to Guy. What's he got to do with the health of Australia? Not a lot, but anyway, here is Guy. Now, Guy is very concerned about the health of Australians and about this Delta variant that's floating through the air. And I've actually been looking, I'm not sure the Delta variant can attack the vocal cords, but if they can, his insurance, apparently his vocal cords are insured. He sells about $100,000 worth of albums from Kmart each year, and I believe the insurance is something like 10% of that. So anyway, so recently what's happened is that Guy Sebastian has issued an apology to his Instagram followers.
Hello everybody. I just wanted to jump on here just to clear something up. I'm sure that today some of you might have seen an industry call out with the best of intentions for our live music industry, which is...
He's nervous. He's got 500,000 followers and he's apologising because he just posted how they should all get vaccinated.
So that we can all assemble together again. I've always done everything that I can to support my industry, but the campaign was posted to my page without my direct involvement. Whilst I, like everybody else in my industry, I want things to
so what happened is, what is he explaining Guy Sebastian to his 500? He's desperately backtracking, and as they're peeling away from him now, well, he's lost 2,000 since, I think. There he is, 500,000, he's 2,000. So what's happened is, the other night, Guy Sebastian posted something about how for this industry and people like himself, you know, for Australians who love his music so much, if they're going to get over this damn COVID thing, if they're going to get over the pandemic and the closures of their businesses, and they're going to get to, you know, have the freedoms to be able to enjoy much loved men like him, then they're going to have to be part of this experiment. Okay, these COVID injection experiments. And what happened was, I think it's the case he miscalculated, because it seems like Australians aren't really cool for that. Australians are okay with vaccination, apparently, but not with the COVID injection. And so lots of his followers have been saying, what the hell are you talking about? Meaning I've got to be part of this experiment. What the hell are you talking about? So he's now saying we go back to...
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there he is, back to Guy.
In an industry absolutely decimated,
and he's
trying to find a pathway forward.
Just explaining that what's happened is that he didn't actually post it.
I've always done everything that I can to support my industry, but
okay, Guy, we're going to have to fast the campaign.
Whilst I, like everybody else in my industry...
Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, he's sounding like a politician. And isn't that amazing how these American or Australian rock stars, once they get a bit of loot and a contract with Kmart, whoever it is, they start sounding like Scott Morrison. What happened to the rock and roll? What happened to him, you know, having a beer and playing pool down the pub and listening to Akka Daka, or maybe driving fast cars or that sort of thing? Now it's all about, yeah, thanks guys, and oh yes, and I just want the industry, and I just want this, and I just want everyone to experiment, but I don't want any blah, blah. It's all this sort of stuff, right? And so it's not entertainment anymore. It's become public health propaganda. And the reason why I'm standing up against it is he's backtracking because he got it wrong. Now, I don't want to condemn Guy Sebastian. You know, honestly, I've made a couple of jokes here today, and I have a confession to make. The confession is that when he won Australian Idol in 2003, here he is back then. Again, that was back when he was just an normal American Australian singer. Before he became this modern version of himself, which is quite what it is, I don't know. It's sort of like a cross between, what is it? It's sort of like a public health official if he imagined himself as a pop star, isn't it? Okay, guys, the industry had to get back. We've got to have this. Yeah, come on. Woohoo, let's go, please. Don't leave me. I didn't mean to post that. It wasn't me who posted that on my Instagram page. It was a staffer. I had no knowledge. Please don't leave me. So this is just too ridiculous for words. It's become a taboo. Everything in health has become a taboo. You're not allowed to talk about injections because it means you're this or it means you're that. What nonsense. Listen, I helped expose Australia's deadliest medical scandal. The Australian Red Cross knowingly delivered thousands of people and patients contaminated blood transfusions. They did this in the 1980s and even into the 1990s. They did. It's provable. Go to our website, infectedbloodaustralia.com, have a look at the evidence they didn't want you to see. There's a section there, and you'll see excerpts from victims. And we've got many victims in our group who are still trying to get justice from the Australian Red Cross. When I started speaking out about them years ago, it was a major taboo. Oh boy, did I come up against it. And just like, Guy is experiencing now, he has committed the taboo of telling people there he is apologising desperately. Hello, everybody, please don't leave me. Because he's been caught telling people what to do with their own health. And Australians don't dig that. What I will never ever do is demand or tell people what they have to do with their health, or that they're going to be kept from their loved ones, or kept from going to a concert, or kept from having a beer, or kept from living their lives. No. What I will do is keep on talking about everything in the health sphere. I don't consider anything in health a taboo. I don't support these COVID injections, but that doesn't mean that I don't think other people should have them if that's their choice. If that's your choice, I respect your choice. Okay, and lastly, I'd just like to say to Guy Sebastian, Guy, I want you to know something. If there's one thing that you'll be remembered for,
just wanted to jump on here.
By me, apart from that 2013 performance, it will be for something you've done to my life during lockdown. Whenever I go into a shop to get my groceries and my fruit over this last 2 years, something incredible's happened, right? I'm going to give you a reenactment. Basically, what happens is I'll be walking through a shop with my trolley, and everyone's a bit nervous now because people are looking to see if your mask's a bit low, or you're standing too close, or you haven't PR coded. So you're walking around the supermarket looking left to right, hoping to present as a good boy in case, the authorities catch you out. And every time I'm in there, what happens? This guy. When I look into your eyes, my dreams. He comes on the radio in the supermarket every single time I go shopping. And now he's basically posting that we've all got to get jabbed to listen to his music. I want to get away from your music, Guy Sebastian. I think you're great, I really do, but I'm just not into it anymore. I'm more of a 1980s sort of, Hoodoo Gurus, Akadaka, Cold Chisel, Mental as Anything, all that kind of thing. That's more the sort of Australian music I'm into. But all the best to you, and look, to anyone else, I'll take this bloody thing off my face. Crikey, Marley. On, off, on, off. You're getting fed up with that? On, off, on, off. We should have like an electric button that just goes. They'll probably have that in the future. But look, if you could go to our bio, once again, if you know me, I'm always going to ask people to get over the taboos and get over this thing of shunning people for talking about viruses, how ridiculous, and get over shunning people for what methods they use to deter virus or treat virus, okay? And if you go to our bio and support a Royal Commission of Inquiry into the Australian Red Cross CSL blood scandal, you'd be doing me a huge favour. We're victims of Australia's deadliest medical scandal. We're a taboo. We're the taboo they don't want you to know about. So by helping us get our inquiry, finally, Australians will get to understand what we've all been through. And I thank you for putting up with me today if you've listened through the whole video. And I thank you for listening to my ravings about Guy Sebastian. And yeah, thank you. And thank you, Guy.